Tang is... What do you mean Tang is not good? You like Sunny D, and you're gonna say that Tang isn't good? Tang tastes like medicine. Well, it was made for astronauts and for space. It was Chemical D's nuts. Are you sure you want that? Are you sure about that? Tang yeah, we're 30 seconds out. We're 30 seconds out. All right, let's jam out to whatever this is. I want to make sure, is this a good loud? Is this a good loud? Sunny D enjoyers, Giga Soy, yeah, whereas Tang enjoyers, Giga Chads. Average Kumpot enjoyers, wait, what the fuck is a Kumpot? Yang Tang, Mang. Oh. Okay, we got deafened, but here we are. Yes! I remember! I was there. And I was like, what's he doing? Who's this guy? And then these motherfuckers came around and I was like, well, okay. Whoa. I don't remember seeing him without his hat. Wait. Oh, the Conquerors are us doing the thing, locking away elders, so it looks really cool. Oh my god. Center! Yes. Too loud. Are we good? Okay, serious, you weirdo. Echoes of the Atlas? Yeah, boy! I mean, yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Is that my build? I saw it take a chunk but not die, so it looked like it was my build. You know? Oh, shit. Okay, here we are. Oh, God.
Hi, I'm Chris Wilson from Grinding Gear Games. Thank you for joining us as we unveil Path of Exile's next big expansion, Siege of the Atlas. Since the Atlas of Worlds was introduced in 2016, we have released 3 large endgame expansions, each evolving Path of Exile's endgame in a different way.
True.
Today, I am proud to present our 4th endgame expansion, which launches on PC and Mac on February 4th and on Xbox and PlayStation on February 9th. Twitch drops are enabled for today's live stream, so make sure you follow the instructions below to link your account and be eligible to earn the Wasteland Wings.
Alright, be here, get your drops. Drop here.
We've got a lot to show you in today's live stream, so I'm going to cover a lot of ground quickly. We'll start with the trailer for Siege of the Atlas, and then dive into learning about the pinnacle bosses you'll face as you explore the new Atlas of Worlds.
Customization?
We'll then talk about the new way you customize your Atlas experience.
What is that? What do you... Okay.
Rewards are next, with a focus on both the new itemization and crafting possibilities for endgame items, and the new unique and currency items you can earn by defeating the pinnacle bosses. Then we'll cover changes to how the Atlas works with its new game systems before revealing the Arch Nemesis Challenge League, which launches alongside Siege of the Atlas.
New game system?
After a summary of what game balance changes we're making in this expansion, we'll have a Q&A session where Ziggy D asks me questions from the community. Finally, we'll post the full patch notes as soon as the live stream ends. Let's check out the trailer for Siege of the Atlas.
Here we go. Oh shit.
Cirrus is dead.
Yeah.
Xana has chosen exile.
What? I knew it!
But the Atlas of Worlds remains a beacon for Eldritch Horrors.
Why did she choose exile? Wait, why did we exile
We
her?
imprisoned the Elder.
Yeah.
We placated the Maven.
Yes, we did.
We've been preparing for the arrival of another.
Not like that, though.
But we never expected 4.
Whoa.
They embody insatiable hunger.
Whoa.
Crushing darkness.
Oh, shit.
Flame. Merciless wrath.
ground slam. I love to see it. I love to see it.
If we don't stop them, they will consume everything. This is a war for our very existence.
The Atlas besieged! Oh my god, look at her. Oh my god. Whoa, 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 whoa! What? An Atlas passive tree? What? Oh my god! It's huge!
They are here.
Whoa! Wait, whoa, 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 whoa! What was that fight?
Will all perish.
What was that fight? That was incredible! That was incredible! Xana chose exile, Skeletor. She chose exile. She left us. For reasons.
The events in Siege of the Atlas take place after the defeat of Cirrus. With Xana leaving to pursue her own agenda,
You're
Commander
welcome.
Kirik has taken responsibility for defending the Atlas and Rayclast against whatever Eldritch Horrors might arrive.
Yeah, but he got
Because
fucked by...
Oriath was decimated by both Katava and then Cirrus, Kirik has moved several map devices to an isolated island in the Kurui archipelago and has established a
What?
militia in order to prevent another event like the Cirrus incident. In this expansion, you will
But
join
how did he
Kirik's
move
militia
them?
and will be asked to scout the front lines of the Atlas for threats.
You gotta be kidding.
After encountering the Maven, you will learn that 2 more Eldritch Horrors like her or the Elder are on their way to the Atlas.
Okay,
Unlike her,
okay.
though, their intentions are driven by the need to consume absolutely everything they encounter.
No!
You must learn
Not
what you
just
can
children.
do about these entities and attempt to prevent the existential threat they pose to Rayclast.
Not just children now. They want to eat everything.
In Siege of the Atlas, the 2 new Eldritch Horrors are the Searing Exarch and the Eater of Worlds. These are similar to other pinnacle Atlas
shit.
bosses of the past, such as the Elder, the Shaper, the Maven, and Cirrus. You will hunt down these 2 bosses and their sub-bosses, the Black Star and the Infinite Hunger. You will be able to pursue both Eldritch Horrors at the same time, but you can choose which you are pursuing on a map-by-map basis. In mid-tier maps, you'll randomly encounter the influence of either the Searing Exarch or the Eater of Worlds. The Maven understands the threat that these Eldritch Horrors pose to her plans. She will modify your map device so that when entering maps, you can choose to add either the influence of the Maven or any Eldritch Horror you have encountered.
No way. That seems wild. What's that?
As you run subsequent maps influenced by the Searing Exarch or the Eater of Worlds, the amount of influenced monsters in those maps increases as that Eldritch Horror gets closer to you. Eventually,
Really?
you'll encounter
I
either
like
the Black
that.
Star or the Infinite Hunger, one of the sub-bosses. You must
Okay.
defeat that boss in order to continue
looks
progressing
cool as
closer to the
fuck.
horror you are pursuing. These bosses have exclusive new unique items in their drop pools. You're likely to have encountered the influence of both horrors by this point and can choose which one you're pursuing in each map. Finally, in the highest tiers of
that's
maps, you will
sick.
encounter the Searing Exarch or the Eater of Worlds themselves.
Oh, just an invitation to fight him.
If you are able to defeat these extremely difficult foes, they can drop
That's
their own
the
exclusive new
amulet?
unique items and Eldritch currency items, which we'll describe
But-
later in the livestream.
Super dank
Once
staff.
you have slain the Searing Exarch or the Eater of Worlds once, you can then farm them. In order to do so, you must complete a series of tier 14 or above maps with that Eldritch Horror's influence applied.
Of course.
You'll eventually find a key that allows you to challenge the Black Star or the Infinite Hunger again. As this key to the fight is tradable, it's not a strict requirement that you slay this first boss, but
Oh,
the
that's
item rewards will
sick.
strongly encourage you to do so.
Okay.
After continuing
okay.
to farm tier 14 or higher horror-influenced maps, you will receive another tradable key to fight the Searing Exarch or the Eater of Worlds, giving you another shot at their exclusive rewards.
Okay.
The keys to the farmable versions of these bosses can be rolled like regular maps, but with their own mod pool. This allows you to control the difficulty and rewards even further.
Wait. Time out. What did I just see? 40%?
Earlier, I mentioned that maps can be influenced by the Searing Exarch or the Eater of Worlds.
You
Before
did.
we move on, I wanted to go into more detail about what that actually means.
Is this Stormbind?
In influence maps, as you defeat enemies, altars themed around the Searing Exarch or the Eater of Worlds occasionally appear where you kill those enemies. These altars give you the choice between two options that can either modify your character, influenced monsters, or the boss of the map by increasing rewards but also increasing difficulty.
Oh,
You can
really?
encounter multiple altars per area, so sometimes you can drastically affect the difficulty and rewards of a map as you play through it. It's also fine to ignore it and choose not to increase the difficulty and reward of the map if you feel that it's already challenging enough.
You know we
An example of a
will.
modification is altering the map boss so that all of its damage shocks, but also causing it to drop an additional Eldritch currency item as a reward. We'll explain what
That's
these new
fine.
currency items do later in the live stream.
Lesser Ickers, 1 of 10. Wait.
In the
it
last
was
iteration of
they'll
the
tell
Atlas,
me.
you needed to use Watchstones to both unlock new maps and raise the level of maps across your Atlas. This required grinding Conquerors and managing the optimal placement of 16 different Watchstones. In Siege of the Atlas, we've removed Watchstones and have restored the hidden maps back to the base Atlas so they don't have to be unlocked over time. We've added much of the power from craftable Watchstones to Atlas passives so that you can still access the benefits you're used to without the busy work of managing Watchstones.
Yes!
Despite the era of
Yes!
Watchstones being over, we do really like the ability to raise the tier of maps on your Atlas so that eventually all of them are tier 16.
Oh,
To this end, we
my
have introduced
God,
Void
that's
Stones.
just fucking
You can earn up to
sexy.
4 of these,
That is
one each from the
so-
Uber Elder, the Maven,
That
the
is-
Searing Exarch, and the Eater of Worlds. Placing Void Stones on your Atlas will raise the tier of all of its maps, eventually making them uniformly tier 16.
What?
In
All
Siege
of
of the
them
Atlas,
T16?
we've removed the concept of Atlas regions entirely. This means that we're
Uniformly?
saying goodbye to regional Atlas
All?
passive trees and hello to a single gigantic Atlas passive tree.
Oh, so
good old Path of Exile.
I love
This
it.
new
Look
tree
at the
has over
tree. Look at the
600 passives
background.
available to choose from, and you can earn 117 Atlas passive skill points by completing your Atlas.
Of course, from the map,
Each
so you're going
different
to want
map
to
you
do
complete
every one.
The bonus objective of grants you 1 skill point. You
Just,
can also earn some extra ones by completing the Maven's multi-boss fights. Whenever
know
you
I
allocate
will.
an Atlas passive skill, its stats apply to every map you run anywhere on the Atlas.
Oh,
Also, because it's
my
much faster
God.
to complete earlier maps on the Atlas, your Atlas point acquisition is pretty front-loaded, letting you quickly establish an Atlas layout that helps you find and profit from your favorite content. We've integrated some skills from past regional Atlas trees and have created several new ones, like Secret Operations, which turns some of the strongboxes you encounter into a new type of strongbox that drops scarabs.
Scarabs?
Corrupted
I
Gaze
love
causes
it.
Abyssal Jewels to sometimes drop Corrupted with 5 or 6
No
modifiers rather
fucking
than a
way,
typical 4.
dude. That's incredible.
Ghastly Devotion guarantees that areas that contain ritual altars will always contain 4 altars.
there you go. There you go. Hey, work boys.
Having
there
one
you go,
massive
ritual
Atlas
boys.
tree means that you can deeply specialize in
Breach.
certain types of content without being limited to what was available in a specific region.
Thank
You can increase how
you.
often you encounter your favorite content and can
I can
adjust how
run
challenging
all
and
the
rewarding
maps
that
I
content
want
is.
to run. Abyss jewels are absolutely
The removal of
relevant.
Atlas regions
about the
means that you have more
corruptions
freedom to run the maps you like
that you
without
can
being
get.
forced into regions of the Atlas that have passives that affect the content you wanted to play. The topic of map drops is also important here. Powerful characters are
Yes.
capable of playing very juiced maps, which
Yes.
results in them finding a lot of items, including more maps. Often,
Yes.
they get more maps than they actually need.
Yes.
Weaker characters have to be more careful with what mods they add to their maps and hence find fewer maps.
Yes.
This new Atlas tree lets you choose how much you want to invest in a map tier upgrade that used to be the Atlas completion bonus, which means that powerful characters who don't need extra maps can instead focus those points on improving the rewards from content they play.
Oh,
On the other hand,
shit.
weaker
Well, the
characters can invest
people...
in finding better maps and can then
Exactly.
respec this later on once they're finding a surplus.
Oh,
We'll make the full
yeah.
tree available next week so that you can start planning before Siege of the Atlas launches.
Oh, shit. Is one stream just going to be picking
Every
out how
large
we
Path of
juice?
Exile expansion needs a new way to create the most powerful items in the game.
Yeah, we
Siege
do.
of the Atlas introduces a new endgame item mechanic called Eldritch Implicit
This is
modifiers.
an insane quality of
A
life.
problem we had with the old Shaper, Elder, and Conqueror influence system
What?
was that
What
while
is
the
it?
items were extremely powerful, they had to be
Yeah.
crafted using highly specialized and complicated methods. A regular
Sort
influenced
of.
item you found on the ground usually wasn't of much value, unless
That's-
it was a
there you
certain
go.
base type
That's
at a
garbage,
specific
mate.
item level.
That's
Influenced
garbage.
items were generally not that useful in early, mid, or even most high-end maps, as they were basically a post-endgame feature. Our new system of Eldritch Implicits allows you to apply Eldritch mods to already good items that you have, so that you have a lot more freedom to choose how you create your best items. You can
What?
also start interacting with Eldritch
Fire
Implicits
damage over
much
time?
earlier in your mapping experience.
On basic
As
bitch
you know,
gloves?
Path of Exile items can have an implicit mod that either comes built into the item based on
Look
what
at how
type
bad
it
that
is,
is.
or can be modified
3
with
lightning
systems such as
damage.
Vile Corruption.
Yep.
Eldritch Implicits replace existing implicit mods, but with a twist. An item is allowed to
No
have one Eldritch Implicit from
way!
the Searing Exarch and one from the Eater
Maybe
of
you're a
Worlds at the
Pepe
same time.
loser with
These
your life
implicits have
regen
many
now.
different tiers and several ways to interact with them. While playing maps in Siege of the Atlas,
Oh
you may
my
find some
God.
new
Oh my
currency
God.
items. Eldritch Ember and
oh
Eldritch
jeez.
Ichor,
Oh, Lord.
corresponding to the
What do
Searing
these even
Exarch and
say?
the Eater of Worlds, respectively. These currency
I can't
items
read it
can
fast
be applied
enough.
to
I'm
gloves,
blind.
helmets, body armors, or boots, and overwrite the item's regular implicit mods with new ones from two special pools of powerful modifiers. As I mentioned before, an item can have both a Searing Exarch
Nelly.
implicit and an Eater of Worlds implicit at the same time.
I can have
Applying
both.
the same type of orb
Just
multiple
on it?
times will overwrite the appropriate mod with a new random
Just
one.
on it. Both.
These gloves have a single Eldritch Implicit
Gain
mod
one
which
range
grants
with
you the
attacks in
ability
more
to
than
gain rage
0.6
on hit,
seconds.
rate limited by a cooldown. There are two Eldritch Implicit mods on this helmet. The first one simply
Yeah.
grants some added fire damage with spells.
Excellent.
The second implicit
This
causes enemies
one's-
within a radius near you to be unable to regenerate life. Each mod has 6 tiers of power. The first 4 tiers come from the 4 versions of the Eldritch Ember and
I
Echo
understand.
currency items.
I understand.
While the highest 2 tiers can only be upgraded to with
Naturally.
a special item we'll explain soon. The first tier of
What
Eldritch Ember or
special
Echo drops on
item?
all maps and means that any important build-enabling mods are available without having to
Right,
complete the
Colsey?
entire atlas. The second and third tiers come from exploring maps influenced by the Eldritch Horrors, and the fourth tier drops from the Searing Exarch or the Eater of Worlds
Yeah.
themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You may be wondering how you
course.
get access to the 5th and 6th
Ooh,
tiers.
hoo,
This
hoo,
requires
what's
some luck
that?
and planning. The Maven Enter encounters have a chance to drop the Orb of Conflict. When used on an item with 2 Eldritch Implicits,
I'm
the
never
Orb
gonna
of
find
Conflict
it.
lowers the tier of one implicit mod and increases the tier of the other. This allows you to manipulate the balance between the 2 types of implicits.
Oh my God, dude.
The best
What-
possible
what-
outcome is to have a tier 6 and a tier 4 mod at the
It's
same
not
time.
tainted.
In order to achieve
It's
this,
not-
you'd want
it's
to apply
better
the
than that.
highest Eldritch Ember or Eldritch Echo over and over until you have a tier 4 modifier that you want. Then use Orbs of Conflict to try to get it to tier 6 before using more Ember and Echo to lock in the tier 4 mod of the other type that you're looking for.
And they told us how to craft with it too.
We have made sure that
And
the
they
power
told
of
us
these
how to
modifiers
craft
is
with it.
available earlier in maps so that you get access to them when you need them, rather than after you need them.
Yeah.
Also, none of the new implicit mods have item level restrictions that prevent them from being applied to an item. There are also conditional
I can
versions of
only
Eldritch
be so
Implicit
erect.
mods that are only enabled when specific
you
types
gotta-
of enemies are in your presence. These ramp up in power as the condition gets more restrictive.
Oh, that's interesting.
These conditional mods
Minus
are designed for
32
players who feel
lightning
that they have
res, and then you
sufficient
just run
clear speed
pinnacle.
for easier monsters, and want to specialize in being even more effective against the really tough bosses
Holy
where it matters.
Shit. Minus 32 lightning
Items with
res.
Eldritch Implicits can also have a property of being dominated by one of the Eldritch Horrors. If an item
What?
has a higher tier Searing Exarch mod, then it is considered dominated by the Searing Exarch. Conversely, if the mod for the Eater of Worlds is higher tier, then it is considered dominated by the Eater of Worlds.
So, are you
Domination
saying that
matters
my
for 3 new currency items we're introducing. The Eldritch Chaos Orb will reroll the prefixes of an item if it is dominated by the Searing Exarch, or the
This
suffixes
is
if the item is
wild.
dominated
I
by
love
the Eater
it.
of Worlds.
So basically,
The
it's
same
on
is true
tier.
for the Eldritch Exalted Orb and the Eldritch Orb of Annulment, which add or remove a prefix or suffix depending on which horror dominates
Which one
the item.
is a tier higher?
These very rare currency items give you a large degree of control over your endgame rare item crafting if you're able to manipulate the Eldritch Implicits correctly. It's important to note that you can't apply
Oh my
Eldritch Implicit
God,
mods to
it's
influence
so
items. By that, I mean items that have the
good.
old type of Shaper, Elder, or Conqueror
Oh,
influence.
thank God.
The Siege of
remove
the
and
Atlas
add,
expansion contains a whole roster
but
of
in
new
like
unique
a-
items, which drop from the 4 new Atlas bosses we have introduced.
Tell us, show us.
All of these are powerful uniques, and
Show
we'll show you
us.
6 of them today. The Ashes of the Stars Onyx
6
Amulet
of
increases the level of all of your skill gems and grants them an additional 20% quality. It also improves the reservation efficiency of your skills and lets you level all of your gems faster, which is really
wow.
useful for gems such as
Wow.
Empower and Enlighten. The big
Wow.
boost to quality is very valuable with some alternate quality gems, as well as certain skills like curses.
Okay, dude.
The
Okay,
dissolution
dude.
of the
That's
flesh
ass- that's
prismatic
fucking
jewel changes the
disgusting,
way that you interact
essentially.
with incoming damage.
That's fucking.
While you have
that's
this jewel
crazy.
equipped, damage is taken in the form of
Hold
a
on.
temporary reservation to your life pool. If you reserve 100% of your life, you die. This allows you to ignore life recovery completely, since the actual amount of life you have left is irrelevant as long as you manage the timing of your life reservation.
What? As long as I hold.
The Polaric Devastation
But then for
Opal
how
Ring
long?
introduces
Forever?
a new debuff called Covered in Frost and gives you another way to apply the existing Covered in Ash debuff. This is a solid ring for anyone specializing in either fire or cold damage. In a similar vein to Covered in Ash, Covered in Frost causes the target to take 20% increased cold damage and lowers their critical strike chance. The Ceaseless Feast spiked gloves have a new debuff called Corrosion, which you can stack up on enemies to remove their armor and evasion. This is not only a great way to reduce their physical damage reduction, but the gloves also have an additional bonus that applies when you have stripped away all of the enemy's armor or evasion.
Maybe.
We are also introducing a pair of very rare aspirational unique jewels, Forbidden Flame and Forbidden Flesh. Each of these jewels drops from one of the 2 new Pinnacle Atlas bosses, and they are certainly unique in that they must work together to unlock their potential. They require the user of the jewel to be a specific class, and they roll with a modifier that specifies a random ascendancy skill from one of the ascendancies of that class. If you are able to equip both a Forbidden Flame and a Forbidden Flesh jewel that specify the same skill, and if you meet the class requirement, then you will be granted that ascendancy skill. For example, if you're a Deadeye and find a Forbidden Flame jewel that specifies the Master Surgeon skill from the Pathfinder class, then upon finding and equipping a matching Forbidden Flesh jewel, you will gain the Master Surgeon skill.
I think
These
I was just
jewels
drooling.
open up many new build
I
possibilities
think I actually was just drooling.
characters.
Holy shit.
The favored map system allows you to find more of the maps that you want to play. In the old Atlas, there were 3 favored map slots available to unlock in each region.
Well, yeah, probably
Now that
Seller.
regions have been removed, favored map slots can be unlocked by meeting various objectives like completing a tier 16 map or defeating an Elder Guardian. There are 12 favored map slots that can be unlocked. These now apply to all map drops on the Atlas, rather than affecting map drops in just one region. Each slot provides a 10 times multiplier to how frequently its corresponding map drops, relative to other maps. You can select 12 different maps as your favored maps, or you can put the same map type in all 12 slots for a massive 120 times boost to its occurrence in your drop pool. This is particularly powerful once you've socketed all 4 Void Stones into your Atlas, making all of your maps tier 16, and with 120 times multiplier applied to a specific map. In this case, the specific map you have chosen will constitute over 50% of all tier 16 map drops.
Bro, look at all those.
Sextants can be found from tier 14 onwards and are applied to Void Stones. When you use one on a Void Stone, it affects your whole Atlas. Because Void Stones come from the highest tier content, we've removed Simple Sextants and Prime Sextants, as they can no longer be used when you would typically acquire them. We've added the mods from these Sextants to the pool of mods that Awakened Sextants have. Because this dilutes the pool of mods that Awakened Sextants can roll, we've increased the frequency at which you acquire Awakened Sextants. Your existing Simple and Prime Sextants will be converted to Awakened Sextants at the launch of Siege of the Atlas. We have made no changes to Elevated Sextants.
Good.
With the new Atlas system as context, we've done a balanced pass of all Sextant mods. This resulted in a slight reduction to the amount of content or monsters that a given Sextant mod introduces to an area. We've removed the Nemesis Monsters Drop 3 additional currency items mod, both because it's busted and because it's incompatible with our future plans for the Arch Nemesis League content.
No
We've also
more
added a whole
Nemesis
bunch of new
shit
Sextant
for
modifiers.
you guys because it's busted.
The general
it's
intention
over
behind these new mods
you
is that they give
guys.
a strong benefit while adding extra difficulty, or reward players for specializing into having other leagues present in an area. For example, there's a Sextant mod that ensures that all breaches in an area belong to Chalula. So if you can maximize the number of breaches through Scarabs, map device modifiers, the Atlas passive tree, or other Sextants, then you've got a whole bunch of valuable Chalula breaches in that map. With the removal of Watchstones, players would have lost the ability to swap in and out Watchstones with different Sextant modifiers on them depending on which maps they were running. We like the strategic use of Sextants, so we've reintroduced this behavior with a new currency item called the Surveyor's Compass. This can be applied to a Void Stone with a Sextant mod on it to itemize that Sextant mod for later use or trade. This currency item drops periodically and is also sold by Kirik for 1 Chaos Orb.
I like this.
Similar to how Einhaus sells Bestiary Orbs. There's no limit on how many you can purchase.
I like this.
With Xana gone, you may be wondering what is happening to her Atlas missions. Well, Kirik is taking over from her, but it works a little differently now. Kirik has assumed the position of Commander, and he has important missions for you to carry out in the Atlas.
Lord Commander.
You open these missions at your map device and can run them just like before. However, you won't encounter Kirik inside a map, and you won't be able to apply Kirik objectives to a map itself. Because of this, we have raised the chance that you receive a Kirik Atlas objective when you defeat a map boss. Previously, Xana's missions had completion objectives, but with the removal of the favor system, this stopped mattering. Instead of focusing on completion, Kirik missions now focus more on rewards, and so their purpose is to provide you with
Still
additional
just
league
trash.
content or extra item drops. Instead of your free daily mission being based on the last map you've completed, it's now based on the highest tier map you've completed in this current league. For example, if you completed a tier 16 map, your daily missions will always be high tier maps. Kirac missions can now include additional content like Conquerors, ritual encounters, expedition encounters, and even monstrous treasure, the form of prophecy that makes an area contain 24 to 36 additional strongboxes with no natural monster inhabitants. Kirac now sells you maps, much like Xana did in the past, except there is now a wider variety of outcomes with variance on the prices, so you should probably go and check what he's selling more frequently in case there's a good deal.
Amazing.
The items in the window are re-rolled under the same conditions as Xana's previous
Impale?
shop. Kirac can sell maps that come with implicit mods enabling various content. For example, a map that always has a Legion encounter, or maps that have varying degrees of deliriousness on them. As you play through maps, you'll occasionally find Atlas scouting reports, essentially communication about important missions from other people who scouted the Atlas and didn't survive. These items can be used like a currency item to re-roll the set of mission maps that Kirac is offering you. These new maps have a different set of mission outcomes that includes valuable ones like guaranteeing a unique map, having all maps be corrupted, always including a Shaper Guardian, Elder Guardian, or Conqueror, having only uncompleted maps available, or adding a Breach Stone to the selection. The value here is not only the re-roll of what is offered to you, but also the guarantee of one or more high-value missions.
Wow.
On the Atlas passive tree, you can specialize into finding more Atlas scouting reports or unlocking new types that can drop. Kirac also sells the aforementioned Surveyor's Compass used to itemize Sextant mods, as well as everything else Xana previously sold, like specific divination cards. Despite them not being part of the core Atlas experience anymore, it's still possible to fight Cirrus and the Conquerors to take advantage of their influence and unique item rewards. Tier 14 or higher map bosses now have a chance to drop maps influenced by the Shaper, the Elder, or a random Conqueror. You can also purchase these maps from Kirac. When you enter the map, you'll be met with hordes of influenced monsters that can drop influenced items. Upon defeating the map boss, a portal will open to the Conqueror's arena. Upon death, the Conqueror will drop a fragment. Each Conqueror has their own fragment.
Yeah, he will.
Combine all 4 fragments in your map device to open a set of portals to the Cirrus
encounter.
encounter.
Cool. That looks so cool.
As it's now harder to get influenced items, we've moved plus level gem modifiers into the global mod pool for amulets. So it's now possible to get the powerful +2 levels to certain gems without having to use influenced amulets.
You gotta be kidding! I don't have
Now that Cirrus and the Conquerors are no longer core parts of Atlas gameplay, they will not drop awakened gems.
Easy.
These gems can now drop from Maven invitations. Arch Nemesis is a challenge league that reinvigorates fights with rare monsters. It introduces around 60 new monster mods and allows you to customize your rare boss fights to control your level of risk and reward.
I realize that.
These mods can be combined in over 35 recipes to create new, more powerful and rewarding mods. As you play through the league, you'll discover more recipes and learn how to best utilize them to get the most valuable rewards. When you slay regular rare and magic monsters in the Arch Nemesis League, they sometimes drop an itemized version of a new Arch Nemesis monster modifier. You store these in a dedicated inventory panel so they don't clutter your regular inventory.
Yes!
Over the course of each area you play, you'll encounter 4 monsters that are frozen in place, petrified, and bound to an Arch Nemesis
and then I can
statue.
just pick.
When you find such a monster, you can free it by empowering it with an Arch Nemesis mod.
Oh, it's the
If you're able to successfully defeat the empowered monster, then you will receive a fixed reward that corresponds to that modifier.
Glacial Cascade?
The trick that makes this league awesome is the 4 petrified monsters per area.
How
you see, the mods you apply will accumulate as you play through the area. When you empower your second monster, it also has the mod you applied to the first monster. This results in a fight that has twice as many dangerous mods and twice as many rewards. Even though you receive the reward from the first mod when you kill the first petrified monster, you receive a second reward of that type when you kill the second petrified monster. The same applies to the third and fourth fights in the area as well. By the time you defeat the fourth monster, you'll have received the first reward 4 times, the second reward 3 times,
to the max at the beginning, and then just
take care when picking what order you consume your mods so that you can maximize your rewards. More than half of the available mods are created by combining other mods together on the same monster.
Looks like it's a one at a time, right?
As an example of how this works, if you apply both Incendiary and Hasted to the same monster, then in addition to the rewards that these 2 mods grant, you will also receive an itemized Flamewalker mod upon killing the monster. This can then be applied to another petrified monster later on to complete further recipes. These recipe mods yield substantially more dangerous encounters and have more valuable rewards. Even if you're not completing a recipe with your modifiers, you can still combine them to get some ridiculous combinations of rewards. For example, defeating an Innocence Touched enemy grants 3 currency rewards and converts all other rewards into currency. Defeating a Mirror Image enemy grants a Divination card reward and rerolls all rewards 3 times, yielding the rarest result. Killing a Flamewalker enemy grants 3 weapon rewards. Killing a Toxic enemy grants a generic reward plus a gem reward. If you were to kill an enemy with all 4 modifiers, you get a total of 9 currency rewards, each rolled 3 times and dropping the best result. But if you apply the mods in the order mentioned above, then as you kill each of the 4 monsters in the area, you'll receive the earlier rewards multiple times. Looks like we get 3 fusings, boys. The end result is the equivalent of getting 60 currency rewards and receiving the best 20 plus 3 regular currency rewards.
Yeah.
As you can see from this example, even the basic rewards that offer, say, 3 random weapons are really useful because you can combine them with reward conversion mods to take advantage of their high item counts. We're looking forward to seeing what other types of crazy ways you manage to combine your arch nemesis rewards. To prevent you having to backtrack, there are more than 4 possible locations where you may encounter petrified monsters in each area, but only the first 4 you encounter can be empowered and fought. Arch Nemesis mods cannot be traded with other players. Your progress is your own.
Okay.
We designed this league to be a relatively simple one to go alongside all of the new Atlas content in this expansion, and it exceeded our expectations. The fights are fun, the rewards are punchy, and there are a lot of tough decisions about which reward combinations or recipes you can pursue.
You know you're just gonna pick the one that looks the poggiest and murder yourself again and again, but then beat the map.
Archetypes that struggle with endgame content and to buff them so that they're in a much better place compared to other builds.
We're all playing hardcore, right? Everybody we're gonna start as hardcore, right?
Spellcasters. If you haven't checked out the balance manifesto about these changes that we posted recently, I'd encourage you to read all about them in the patch notes that will be posted when the live stream ends.
Here we go, boys. This is important.
To be clear, this expansion does have a few of the usual nerfs to the most overperforming builds, but for the most part, the majority of balance changes are buffs. The goal is that players who play hit damage bow builds and hand-casting spellcasters are significantly more competitive. Alongside Siege of the Atlas, we're introducing 2 new types of stash tab. One for flasks and one for gems.
What kind?
A side effect of this is that you're able to set your regular tabs to have affinity for flasks or gems, regardless of whether you've purchased the new specialized tabs. The gem stash tab allows you to easily store and sort your collection of up to 500 skill and support gems. By default, it displays all gems stored in the tab, but you can use one of the 4 categories at the top to filter between red, green, blue, and white gems. There's a drop-down that allows you to pick your preferred sorting method, such as current gem level, required level, or quality, to easily find whatever gem you're looking for.
I need this immediately.
The Flask Stash tab allows you to store 500 flasks and can be filtered to show life, mana, hybrid, utility, and unique flasks.
That's bad for my
You can also use the drop-down to change the sort order between item level, base type, and quality. This allows you to quickly find flasks of a certain type, potential flasks to vendor for glassblowers baubles, or high item level flasks for crafting.
Mate, they're just portals.
Remember that regardless of whether you've purchased these new tabs, you'll still be able to set up affinities for gems or flasks on your existing stash tabs.
We've been asking for this. We've been asking for this for so long.
Alongside the launch of Siege of the Atlas, we are hosting a competitive event where players will race to be the first to kill a trio of bosses: the Maven, the Searing Exarch, and the Eater of Worlds.
Congratulations, I'm Exile, lady.
And we have some interesting prizes in store for the winners.
Say Steel
Keep an eye
Mage
on the news next week for more details about how this event will work and what its prizes are.
I'm just gonna say, unless it's softcore, then congratulations,
But first, I'd like to show you the new supporter packs we're releasing today to help fund development of future Path of Exile expansions. Our new packs are called the Worm and Emberkeep supporter packs.
Could be Lily though. Lily could beat the Metal Magi for sure.
Like our recent League packs, there are 3 tiers available, each of which include points equivalent to the cost of the pack, plus many exclusive cosmetic microtransactions like apparition effects, armor sets, weapon skins, forum badges, titles, and social frames. The Worm series comes with an exclusive pet, and the Emberkeep series comes with an exclusive weapon effect. These new packs are in addition to the 2022 core packs that we released recently. Remember to check those out if you haven't already. That concludes the reveal portion of this live stream. Keep an eye on our news next week as we unveil more details about the Siege of the Atlas expansion and the Arch Nemesis League. In the meantime, these reveals are already live on YouTube for you to link to your friends in case they missed the live stream. Please spread the word and join us as we explore the Atlas alongside you next week. It's now time for the Q&A. If you have any questions about what we've shown you today, please get them ready because I'm about to be joined by Ziggy D as we answer your questions from Twitch chat. And after that, we'll be posting the full Path of Exile Siege of the Atlas patch notes.
Let me go look at their supporter pack right now. Let me click it. It's broken! I can't get to the page! The page is broken! I can't click on supporter pack. Okay, wait, I'm there. But guys, what do you think? What do you think? Patch notes today. Full patch notes. That means I get to look over all of my skills and make sure that we're not F'd in the A. And it's gonna be absolutely fucking wild. You literally need to open a notepad and write what you watched because there was so much that happened. How do we even summarize it? Like, Xana exiled, Kirax the new boss, Maven understands the threat of these two new eldritch beings that want to come here and just eat everything, which is weird because we always thought it was Maven's daddy, but it seems like just two other people that are like, yo, is there a bunch of stuff to eat here? Because, like, I'm hungry.